Image has been blessed to lead worship in many places and for various organizations. The group has served through music for the United Methodist New York Annual Conference over the past 3 years. They've presented workshops on music and ministries regularly at Vanderveer Park, UMC, and numerous churches throughout the tri-state area. The strength and calling of the group rests in worship music that knocks on doors and also invites others in. After auditioning, Image was chosen to minister at the 2016 United Methodist General Conference in Portland, Oregon, and led worship for the United Methodist Women's Conference in Syracuse, New York, also in 2016. With unique harmonic progressions, music integrity, and a heart for worship, the group seeks to advertise God's excellence each time they sing. The group refines the word image by shifting the focus from appearance to substance. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Raymond Trapp and Image.
Good evening, beautiful people. How are you this evening? Amen. My name is Raymond Trapp, and we are Image. This evening, we come with a spirit of gratitude. Gratitude for those who came before us, that although they did not know our names, they gave their lives and they gave the best of themselves for us. Amen. And how many of you know that if it had not been for the Lord on our side, where would we be? Come on, a clap for all that he has done for all of us. And we are thankful and we are grateful. Turn to your neighbor and tell them, I'm blessed because you're here. Now turn it to the neighbor who didn't come with you and tell them the same thing. All alone, no one but I can feel the pain that's deep inside. I often wonder why I try, but my whole life has changed since the blood. Since the blood,
it gave me purpose.
Since the blood,
God is for us.
Oh, the blood.
Who can be against us?
Oh, the cleansing power that takes the guilt away. The Lamb was sacrificed. Now we no longer fear the grave. No more condemnation. The debt of man is paid by the blood. But for the blood, by the blood. Now we are never alone. Your blood, it makes us strong. Now there is power to move on. We are never alone.
We're never alone.
Now we are never alone. Your blood, it makes us strong. Now there is power to move on. We are never alone.
My friend, no matter how you feel, keep saying by his stripes I'm healed. That's when the blood will take control and let his healing mercies flow. When Jesus' blood is covering you, every sickness, demon, devil,
Father for the blood. If he's ever done anything for you, you ought to lift your hand and give him thanks right now. He thought you were worth it. Amen. He knew you were worth it. And so this song says, you thought I was worth saving. Come on. So you came and changed my life. You thought I was worth keeping. So Lord, so you cleaned me up inside. You thought I was to die for. So you sacrificed your life so I can be free, so I can be whole, so I can tell everyone. Sing it with us. You thought I was worth saving. Come on, stand to your feet. So you came and saved my life. You thought I was worth keeping. Hey! So you cleaned me up inside. You thought I was to die for. Hey! So you sacrificed your life so I can be free, so I can be whole, so I can tell everyone I know. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. Come on, Lord. Walk higher than any other. Our God is healer. Awesome in power. Our God. Our God. Say it again. Our God. Our God is stronger. Our God is stronger. Lord, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God, our God.
If our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against?
And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up. And I'll do it 1,000 times again. Here we go. Whatever it takes to make it. Come on, I'm going all the way. I may be down sometimes. Sometimes, but I won't be down. Here we go.
I've had some problems, heartaches and pain. Trying to find the answer, I've been racking my brain. Ooh, but as
Come on,
I
put your hands
thought
together.
about it, begin to come clear. To get myself together and go on from
Whatever
here.
it takes
Whatever it
to make it,
takes.
I'm going all the way.
I'm going all the way.
I may be down
I may be
sometimes,
down sometimes.
but I won't be down always.
I won't be down always.
Come on, don't you give up. Don't you give up. Don't you give in. Don't you give up.
Hold on.
Hold on to your goal. Don't you give up. Don't you give in. Don't you give up.
Hold on.
God bless you and thank you.
Come on and give them another round of applause. You know I'm always checking on y'all. Everybody doing all right? I can't really see everybody out there. Do we have, ladies, make some noise. Oh, all right. right? Do we have any fellas in the house? Make some noise. Oh, it sounds like we've got a nice full house on today. Now I have the opportunity, and I'm really excited about this because if it wasn't for this person, today would not even happen, and the past 13 years would not have happened. A fierce champion for the people. Senator Kevin Parker is committed to working with all communities in his district to realize his ultimate aim of assuring adequate representation for all New Yorkers. Since taking office in 2002, Senator Parker has approached his job with a sense of purpose and unwavering commitment to serving the constituents of the 21st District. Since 2005, he has kept Dr. King's dream in action by celebrating the life and legacy of the late civil rights leader through this free annual community concert. Could you please put your hands together and make some noise for your senator, Senator Kevin Parker.
Brooklyn, stand up. How's everybody doing? Again, I'm State Senator Kevin Parker. I represent the 21st District here in Brooklyn, which is Flatbush and East Flatbush, Midwood, Ditmas Park, Windsor Terrace, and Park Slope. I am really, really excited to have the opportunity to bring you the 13th annual concert. Please give a round of applause for Liz Black. Isn't she incredible? And please give a round of applause for all the acts that we've seen, the ones we're going to see, the band, national anthem. We really have worked hard to bring together a wide variety and array of people to help celebrate this King Day. And this thing doesn't happen. It's not easy. This is not a, let me say that the journey to making this concert happen ain't been no crystal stair. And those of you who know the poem know the rest. But there's a lot of people who work really, really hard. Let me thank my staff. And two people, give a round of applause for my staff. And they all have been incredible. Let me just name a few people who really have really stood up. Harrison Green, give a round of applause, please. Tara Williams, Nikki Jones, my Chief of Staff, Vaughn Mayers, and Raven Robinson, as well as my intern staff has been also really, really incredible. Also, give a round of applause for Keith Carr and the Triumph Group, who actually produces the actual event. We had a great number of sponsors who stepped forward this year to support this event, who really thought that us bringing this event, like, you know you guys are part of the second largest MLK event in the entire state of New York. Right? And so this is really, give yourselves a round of applause. It's nothing to sneeze at. We thought that it was important to continue to bring to this community a real representation of what we thought Dr. King would want to do on his birthday. To really celebrate his life, his legacy. And I really want people to walk away from this day with two things. One, an understanding of what that legacy is. And understand that it was more than just a dream. That when Dr. King went to Washington, he didn't go there to talk about having a dream. We called it the I Have a Dream speech later on. But he went there to cash a check. And he went there because the check, when they went to the Bank of Justice, had insufficient funds. And I think as we continue to go to D.C., we're going to still see that check marked with justice with insufficient funds. And so Dr. King's legacy is even more important and more poignant as we stand here in 2016 as it was in those days. The second thing is I want everybody to do what I plan to do, which is to recommit yourself to living the legacy of Dr. King. To use today as a jumping off point to bring justice into the world, to bring more love into our communities, and to be the most excellent person you can be and in your profession as you can be. Y'all can clap for that. And so as we speak about excellence, there's nobody more excellent than our sponsors. That includes Spectrum. Give them a round of applause, please. Con Ed. Come on, y'all owe them money. Come on, clap for them. Share New York. Rebney. Metro Plus, and the Junction Bid. Give a big round of applause for the Junction Bid. Some of y'all who live in this neighborhood know what the Junction used to be and what it looks like now. You can really thank the folks at the Bid, particularly Kevin Johnson and some of the folks for the important work they've done there. And I really want to thank my colleagues for coming here and joining us and really making this day a really special day. I want to thank Senator Chuck Schumer for showing up. Senator Schumer is now the most powerful Democrat in the entire country and still made time to come to his district and support this event as he's done every single year. I want to thank Public Advocate Tish James, my good friend, and of course Deputy Mayor Richard Bury, who is here. And I'm not sure who's in the audience, but I do see my colleague from Queens, Alicia Heineman, Assemblywoman from Queens. Stand up and wave. Them people, don't worry, they ain't gonna ask you for nothing. They can't vote for you. She is growing as an expert on especially early childhood education in the Assembly. So if any of y'all have kids, see her instead of me. If you need your kids switched out of a school, no, I'm joking. No, but thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And then there are some people who have been supporters of this event and of me and of our community. I want to acknowledge Dr. Una Clark. Somebody who's been a mentor to me, my first boss in New York, as well as my adopted mother. And when my mother passed, Una Clark came to me right away and was like, I'm your mother now. You don't worry, I'm going to take care of you. And a lot of that being taken care of is me getting scolded and told what to do. So things have not changed a lot. But I am glad and honored to acknowledge one other person, and that's the governor of the state of New York, Andrew Cuomo. Give him a round of applause. And he has sent his regional director for Brooklyn, Drew K. Gabriel, to be with us tonight and to present this proclamation. So I really want to thank both Drew Gabriel and Governor Andrew Cuomo for acknowledging this event and all the celebrations that we've been doing here for the years that we've been here. But I want to bring on a friend to give some words and to acknowledge the day with us. She's somebody who is no stranger to you. She's somebody who, if Una Clark is my adopted mother, she is certainly my sister at arms. Let me welcome and give her a big round of applause, Yvette D. Clark.
Thank you very much, Senator Parker. How's everybody doing this evening? Wonderful, wonderful. Let me thank Senator Parker and his team and all of his sponsors for gathering us together once again. I think it's the 13th time that they've done this so that we could share the dream. We are indeed the legacy holders of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He resides in the breast and chest of everyone seated here. And we need to pull on the faith that he had, the strength, the endurance to push forward an agenda for the liberation of our people. Each and every one of us need to make sure that generation after generation after generation, we will be singing the praises of the trailblazers of the civil rights movement who made it possible for us to sit in this very auditorium this evening. And it's important that we remember, we reflect, and we move forward because there are many who would hope that we would have amnesia. I work with them in Washington, D.C. I know. They want to rewrite history. They look at the fact that we as a nation elected the very first African-American president of the United States. And the first thing that many of these individuals did when we were sworn in the House of Representatives was to repeal the health care, the Affordable Care Act, as though they can erase what we already know. So it is important for us to stand up, stand firm, and speak out in times like these. And I want to encourage you that we have always operated by faith and not by sight. Were it for our ancestors, were it not for our ancestors who believed, notwithstanding the circumstances that they found themselves in, that one day we would be seated here, that we would have reached higher heights, then we would not be here today. It was their faith. It was their belief. It was their understanding. It was their courage that saw us through. And so I wanted to encourage you this evening because I ain't scared. I ain't scared. And I'm going back to Washington, D.C., but I won't be going next Friday. I'm going to take a pass on this inauguration. And I think it's important that I send that signal, because we will not be disrespected. We will not be disregarded. They will not dishonor the Honorable John Lewis on MLK weekend and think that people across this nation will not rise up and let them know what time it is. So beyond that, my beloved, I just wanted to let you know that out of sight is not out of mind. When I'm in Washington, D.C., it is you that I am fighting for. It is you that motivate me to speak out, to stand up, to stand in the belly of the beast and tell it like it is. And so to each and every one, let us recommit ourselves, rededicate ourselves. And this is the time, if ever there was a time, to the legacy of the Honorable Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. God bless you, God keep you, God strengthen you in the days ahead. I think my mama's here. Mama want to come out and wave. Come on out, mama. You got to walk on this side. The Honorable Dr. Una Clark, the matriarch, the liberator of us all.
Next, I want to bring out someone who hopefully you all will get to know in a positive manner. Someone who, you know, we're talking about the notion of justice during King Weekend. That certainly begins in our district attorney's office. And so I bring to you our district attorney here in the borough of Brooklyn, Eric Gonzalez.
Thank you for having me here today. Special thanks to Senator Parker and the Shared Dream Foundation for giving me the opportunity to say hello and to help celebrate the Dr. Martin Luther King tribute concert. I'm Eric Gonzalez, and I'm your Brooklyn District Attorney. Thanks. And just like everyone in this room, I'm eager for the music to continue, so I won't speak for very long. But each year we set aside a special Monday in January to honor Dr. King's wonderful life and his many accomplishments. He worked all his life, and he gave his life building a better society for each of us. I know that I would not be standing before this room today but for Dr. King and the other civil rights activists that fought for all of us. And I know there's still a lot of work to be done, but events like tonight and the events that I've gone through throughout Brooklyn make me very confident that working together and with God's help, we're going to get there. We're going to accomplish all that Dr. King set forth. Everything he dreamt of, we're going to get there. We just have to continue fighting for it. You know, I also want to say about Senator Parker. He chose this location, Brooklyn College, to do this because he cares so much about higher education, and that is the key for our success. My family, when we came from Puerto Rico, my father had a second-grade education. My mother worked in the garment industry as a piecemeal, getting paid by the number of items she sold. So college was not promised to me, but they instilled the value of hard work and education, and coming out of East New York, so too many young people getting involved in the criminal justice system and getting involved in gangs and getting addicted to drugs. So I made it my business to get through school and to give back to the community. And that's the legacy of Dr. King. I briefly want to talk to you about an icon that we lost, and that's the late DA Ken Thompson. Because even though I'm so happy to be here tonight with all of you, I'm sad about the circumstances. Ken shared a vision of society where each of us would be treated fairly and none of us had to fear for our safety. Like Dr. King, he dreamed of working together with the community to build a better society and a fairer and more just criminal justice system. We lost Ken too soon. When Ken realized that he couldn't finish what he dreamed of, he asked me and he appointed me to carry on the mantle on behalf of the people of Brooklyn. It's my honor to carry on that legacy of fairness and justice. In a very short period of time, we changed the way the city of New York treats people. Before Ken, thousands of people were arrested for marijuana and kept overnight. Before Ken, right, we saw 1.2 million people had warrants for their arrest. They were worried about the police arresting them for summons warrants. And now churches throughout all of Brooklyn do a warrant forgiveness program. And most importantly, we saw too many people languishing in prison for crimes they didn't commit, people who had unjustly convicted. So Ken built a conviction review unit, and now we free these men, right? That has become a national motto and something for all of us to be proud of, right? So we're going to continue those things. But as the president-elect talks tough on crime, and he talks about, we're going to bring stop and frisk back, and we're going to deport immigrants, hardworking immigrants, I'm going to let you know that standing in the DA's office, we're not going to allow that to happen. We're not going to roll back the clock. And we're not going to embrace these regressive policies. There's not going to be stop and frisk coming through the Brooklyn DA's office, and we're not going to deport immigrants because they want to do that. We're going to be smart about the way we prosecute cases. We don't need to be tough on crime. We need to be smart, and we have to make sure that we give our young people second chances as appropriate. Thank you for your warm welcome. And I look forward to getting to know the rest of you as we continue forward. Thank you, and happy MLK Day, happy King's Day.
One more time. Put your hands together for all the representatives, including Senator Kevin Parker. All right, so we're in 2017. I can still say it. Happy New Year to you. How many of you have set goals for 2017? A couple? I see some people. Working out? Make some noise. That's not so good, huh? What's the rest of you gonna do? Not work out, huh? All right, a better job. Make some noise. All right. How about not stress yourselves out so much? Amen. Eat the right food.